chords. So as I mentioned before, in notation these will be written with a little m at the end. C minor, B minor, A minor, etc. That's how you know that you're playing a minor chord. And it's very similar to the way we play the major chords. Instead of going 4-3, we're going 3-4. So if I take the C chord that we did earlier, which was this, that was 4 up, and then 3 up. Now instead of that, we'll go 3 then 4. So you start on the C, you go 1, 2, 3, then 4, so that's the E flat, and then 4 more, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. That's your C minor chord. So in comparison to the C major chord, we had this. So all that's happened here is that the middle note has gone down by 1 semitone. Okay, C and C minor. Same way as with D. So you've got your D, so you go up by 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's called your D minor, right? And in the first bit we mentioned that D major was this. Well, again, all you're doing is you're bringing the middle note down 1 semitone, and that's a D minor chord. Right? And finally, if I do an E flat chord, which is this as a major, a minor is just bringing the middle note down 1 to there, and that's again 3, 4. So all you need to know, so it's 4-3 for major chords, 3-4 for minor chords. Major chords tend to sound quite happy, whereas minor chords tend to sound quite sad. So I'll play 3 minor chords on here and see if you can name what they are. First one. Second one. And third one. Okay? Now it's important to know that any chord can be played in a multitude of ways. So for example, earlier we had that the C chord was made up of the notes C, E, G. C major. But there's nothing that says that you can't play a C chord by using the E at the bottom rather than the C. So you go for E to G and your C here. It's the same 3 notes, just played in a different order. That's a C chord, just as that is. And similarly, if you put the G at the very bottom, that's a C chord as well. There's nothing wrong with playing the chord in either of these ways. Now, at first, if you're trying to learn how to play chords, I would suggest very highly that you just learn how to do them in the proper way. So with the C at the bottom, because of the 3-4 and the 4-3 system, which is going to help you work out what notes go into the major or minor chords. But as you progress, it'll be very, very useful for you to learn how to play the chords in the different ways. So for example, an E chord can be played like this, but it can also be played like this, and it can also be played like this. Okay? Now the reason why I'm telling you this is because in music, when you're going from one chord to another, you want the transition in your hand to be as easy as possible. So for example, if I wanted to go from a G chord to a C chord, you would do this if you were doing it the simplistic way. So this is your G chord, and your C chord, depends if you go up or down here, but you can either go here or you can go here. Either way, it's quite a lot of space that your hand is travelling. All 3 of your fingers are moving up a few notes in order to hit the next target. But if you use your G chord here, for example, and you know that you're going to play a C chord next, a C chord is just made of the following 3 notes: a C, an E, and a G, as I mentioned before. Now you're already pressing the G, right, with your thumb, so there's no need to move that. Your C is here, and your E is here, so you only need to move these 2 fingers up 1 to get to your C. Suddenly, going from G to a C is a lot easier than going from this G to this C, because otherwise your hand is going to be all over the place when you play. And it's quite common that a tune will be played and you're only moving 1 or 2 fingers each time. It's not often where you have to go from one thing to one chord to another chord, having to move your hand completely. It's quite feasible for you to play a whole song without actually doing much movement in your hand. So it's very useful to learn the different arrangements of each chord, so that you can go from one to the other a lot easier than, like that. Okay, so I think that's all we need to go through. Just remember that the major chords are the kind of happier chords, and they're all with this 4-3 system, going up by 4 and then up by 3. Okay, minor chords are going up by 3, then up by 4. Okay. Now, the other thing I just wanted to mention quickly as well is that just because you've got, say, for example, your D chord here and your D minor chord is here, I mentioned earlier that the middle note goes down by 1 semitone if you want to change from the major to the minor chord. That is, of course, true, but if you did a different version of this D, so for example, if I put this D up here and you've got this instead, I'm not now putting my middle note down 1 because this is not going to sound correct, because that's not the notes of a D minor chord. The notes of a D minor chord are the D, the F and the A, right? So it's actually there. So you're now playing the D minor chord in a different arrangement than you were before. That's why I said earlier that when you're first starting out, play them in the proper way, with the thumb, the bass note being the name of the chord that you're playing, the D minor or major, the E major or minor, etc. Okay, otherwise it's going to get a little bit confusing at first. Okay, I think that's all I need to say. If you want to practice, then the best thing to do is to just go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and do the A flat, B flat, D flat, E flat, etc. Those sort of notes, and see how quickly you can identify what specific chords are, and also going from one to the other. That's the most important thing, and I think the most difficult thing when it comes to learning how to play piano is to go from one chord to another chord seamlessly. If you can do that, then you're pretty much going to be able to play almost any song there is around. So yeah, that's the end of this tutorial. If you liked it, please give me a like on the bottom of the video. Also, please don't forget to comment, to subscribe as well. I've got a lot more videos up on my YouTube channel. I've got tutorials of Adele songs for those who are proficient enough with chords now. I've got lots of covers, like piano covers and some vocal covers to groups like Muse, Avril Lavigne, Coldplay, Evanescence, The Fray, Keane, and lots of other ones as well. There's about 80 videos on there. So good luck with all of this. Please feel free to send me a message at any point if you get stuck or if you have any questions. And yeah, have a good day. Thank you. Bye bye.